Hello everybody. Welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. I am super happy to be here with you. It's been a very interesting month. I welcome all new viewers very much. I appreciate you stopping in. I welcome all returning viewers. And I'll talk a little bit, if I may, about my format for the new people so that you have an idea and then you can fast forward if you want, or say, nope, not for me, or hopefully stick around and listen to the messages that I have to share with you through spirit. I'm a long-time psychic intuitive tarot reader and a very enthusiastic, I guess you could say, astrologist. Absolutely. I'm not a professional astrologist. I simply study and learn and have watched and continue to immerse myself with information for the last more so 10 years, but I've been interested for very much longer than that. And then the compatibility of the different signs, well, that's just something that I have been extremely partial to since I was 12. So I do want to say that what I'm doing now, and it is subject to change, is I have wanted to read at least one astrology sign, which I call my featured sign, a day. And I was doing well, and I don't rush my readings. I was definitely part of that and trying to fit it in between my normal job as a massage therapist. And now I do what I can when I can, and luckily, because it has been a very challenging month for uploads for me, and I know we're dead in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. It was starting in Gemini. I believe it's now officially in Taurus until it goes back and stations direct on June 3rd and then stays in Gemini. So it affects me personally. Now, I know everybody gets affected, whether they realize it or not, or even pay attention to it. But when you start to talk to other people and you compare the notes, it's fascinating because a lot of people are experiencing the same energy that the planets absolutely do have on us, and to different degrees, depending on very many variables. These are general readings. So what I do is I like to read 4 beautiful tarot divination cards representing the 4 weeks of the month. And then I go on to pick the spiritly guided love connection reading, because I mean, to me, love is everything, and it's all different forms, of course, all different manners that it affects us and comes into our lives. And so it's number one in my life. And so I like to have spirit right in front of you, have me pick the one specific sign or energy that will be affecting you during May, and no doubt onward, and for reasons I'll explain as well. And then I do like to finish with at least one, but today I actually have 2 oracle cards I've been doing for the month of May, and a rune to kind of just that cherry on the sundae, because it kind of just really culminates everything, and it's phenomenal how it does do that. So there's a lot to cover, but my readings are usually anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. And like I said, I have done my very best to upload. Some uploads have taken over 3 days, and it's the Mercury retrograde for myself. So I carry on, and we'll get this started. Now, today's beautiful featured sign is the earth sign of Capricorn. And I think it's absolutely perfect, Capricorn, because you're an earth sign. You're a cardinal sign. You represent the season of winter. So there's more of a barren, if you will, kind of it's a more serious energy. You're an earth sign. You are about practical things. You are about steadfast, hardworking, dedication, loyalty, long-term effects. What you do is for the sole purpose of success and an upward trajectory, okay? Much like the goat that you represent, the symbol of the goat, who has incredible sure footing and can climb the highest of crags and mountains and get to the other side, because that is your destiny, and you will in fact achieve that. And that's a metaphor, because in life, what you put your mind to is something you're absolutely going to do extremely well. Now, having said that, 2 very important things. So I do bring in astrology because, like I said, it is something that I'm incredibly interested in. I absolutely know affects us, whether we realize it or not. And how does it affect us? It affects us because it has history, huge amounts of history, thousands and thousands of years, about cycles, about, you know, systems, about a mathematical science that's just too perfect and too profoundly accurate to overlook, in my opinion. It is a guidance for all of us. It is not an absolute. As an air sign Libra myself, I know many Libras, we have similarities, of course. That is my sun sign, as well as I have 3 other personal planets in Libra. I'm very much an air sign, but I also have a fiery Aries moon and a Pisces watery rising. So there's so much more to the mix, as with every one of you. So I always recommend that you look up your free chart as to who you are, because you're so much more than you can imagine. And so so certain energies from the planets are going to affect certain people more for various reasons, and so on and so forth. So this is a general reading, but we touch base the best we can. And the beautiful aspect of you right now is that Pluto is in trine, meaning there's a beautiful harmonizing, you know, synergy that's happening when there's a trine with the I am so sorry. I mean, my mind is still definitely affected as well by this Mercury retrograde. Oh, anything moving, the planet that's the fastest moving, Mercury, it just kind of slows things down and makes it a little bit hard for me to connect my brain to my mouth. But I want to do it the best I can. Let's see. It is a trine today. It's not Venus. I'm so sorry. There's a trine, and I'm trying to figure out what it is, to Pluto, which is extremely important as far as transformation, which makes me want to express how vitally important these last 2 eclipses. We're basically in eclipse season now. It hasn't quite, you know, left us, and it will start to, I would say, mid-June. Like with the retrograde of Mercury going forward on June 3rd, there'll still be a period of just kind of gathering the momentum and clearing the dust, okay? It never just ends on that day or starts on that day. It's usually before you start to feel the ramifications. And no difference with the planets. Now, Mercury, I'm sorry, not only is Mercury in retrograde, Pluto's in retrograde. And retrograde is always introspective. It's about reviewing things and not necessarily pushing forward, but sitting and really contemplating, recognizing, you know, reviewing, renewing, relaxing, you know, reserving time to put together the pieces, because as we attempt to move forward and have our blocks and delays, it's allowing us time to kind of really finalize certain thought processes, or, you know, new job opportunities coming through down the line, you know, working on our resumes so that we can, you know, make sure that we're seen, making ourselves be seen in the best light, that sort of thing. Certainly for you, Capricorn. So there's a lot of internalization as far as transforming, and then of course the eclipses are hugely potent energies that last for months. So we've had the series, which is now and has been since actually started last November, when the first full moon, I believe, yes, full moon in Taurus occurred. And so now we've had the Taurus and Scorpio series that's very potent, very powerful, very much about practicality and grounding with the Taurus energy. Venus ruled Taurus with love and sensuality is huge right now. Definitely Scorpio being all about the depth, the emotion, the water, the very intense. I mean, Pluto is the ruling planet of Scorpio, more modernly, but historically it was Mars. And here we have Jupiter that's gone into the sign of Aries on the 10th of May, and it's fiery, and it's super passionate, and it's aggressive, and it's masculine, and it's me, it's me, what can I do? How can I make things happen? The energy is, you can feel it, you know, it's extremely strong, and our courage is coming, and our fortitude and our desire to be leadership and to just push forward like the ram and the, you know, the horns, just pushing forward with all our might, with anything that we have, and just taking those risks, you know, like a child. Let's try it, why not, you know? Even if it's not the exact appropriate time at this very moment, we are filled with this ambition because Mars literally went into and is exalted in the sign of Aries last night. Venus is now gone into, and will, I should say, I apologize, on the weekend, be going into Taurus, which is exalted in Taurus. So, I mean, a combination of power and sexuality and, you know, just beauty and love and magic and just such incredible energy that we actually need to be aware of just how powerful it is. And it can lead us to, perhaps, if you're prone to this, fire signs can be impulsive, as I said, and there is, well, I suppose there's that part of all of us, but predominantly with fire. So to know that this energy is going to be very strong. In fact, Mars will be in Aries through July 5th. So it was just out in the sign of Pisces, which is way more about the water, the ethereal, you know, the imagination, the fantasy, the creativity. You've gotten that, you've been putting that into, you know, molding it like clay. And now with Aries, it's just like, bam, let's bring it out into the world. So I'm excited. I feel it so much. I welcome it, and I find that my business has absolutely been growing. And even during the retrograde, though there's many changes and reschedules and things that happen continuously, which I've compared notes with people and they fully understand. So what can I say to you? I think that this energy is very positive for you, Capricorn, and I feel like you actually can take on challenges. You were ruled by Saturn. Saturn is a taskmaster, and like I said, you are on a mission. Generally, you are out to, like Aries as a Capricorn, I mean as a, excuse me, cardinal sign, very much about starting and initiating and, you know, being incredibly like a pioneer, the beginning of something. You fit that so well. So this is going to be great. And I'm going to pick your spiritually guided astrological sign that will have prevalence, if you haven't recognized it already, because we are now on, gosh, it is the 25th of May. And I have a couple more after you, and I will get them out, but luckily I have close to a week, because that may be how long it takes. And then in June, and I can't, you know, there's always some little things happening, of course, but I'm sure that everything will be much more straightforward in June as it comes. We'll have to see. We'll wait and see. So for you, beautiful Capricorn, isn't that something? After everything I've just said, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Your main energy, maybe your connection with an actual Aries is in Aries. So this transfer of, you know, Jupiter in Aries, now Mars in Aries, it's and the moon is in Aries today, by the way. That's right. So that's what I was trying to say. There's a beautiful trine with Pluto and Aries. I think it was the sun. I'm so sorry. I don't want to say the wrong things. That's the only thing. But it's fabulous. Okay, so that's amazing. And I've already gone over what Aries represents and what kind of energy that is. So if you're feeling that, you may have Aries in your chart. You may have fire in your chart, but you also may be with an Aries and you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's contagious, and you're starting to really feel how, yes, I'm getting this energy back. I'm getting the strength. I'm believing in myself. You know, this whole eclipse with Scorpio, that's about transformation and rising, you know, like a phoenix, because Scorpios are notoriously known for their transformational in their life. We all transform in life, from moves to jobs to relationships and everything. It's a continuum. It's what keeps us alive and moving and you know, evolving. But I just absolutely love this, because if it's not an actual person, it could be somebody still coming in. The retrogrades do bring people in. And it may have happened last month. It doesn't necessarily mean, like I said, it's spot on that it's going to happen, or it hasn't. You may know exactly what I mean. And do let me know. If you like this channel, please do like and help me by subscribing, because it is a beautiful way to support the channel. It does help YouTube to continue and to share with others and so forth. Now I'm seeing that this is an upside down deck right now, so we'll put it like so. I have shuffled these quite a bit before, but now in regards to Aries, like I said, and if not that specific person and energy, I mean, it's huge right now. I would be so surprised if somebody said, no, I'm not really feeling any more energetic. Let me know, okay? Because it actually absolutely does affect all of us through July 5th. So wait and see, okay? Now, the first week of May is the card that I'll be pulling first, and I'm using this incredibly beautiful deck called the Light Seers, one of my most favorites, and it's a relatively new one, but I think a lot of readers use it, and it's gorgeous. It has great illustrations, and I just love the energy that comes off from it. So for the first week coming into May, you had Justice. Now, I love Justice because, interestingly enough, and this is all, fitting together, and it always does, it's all very synchronistic. Justice represents the sign of Libra. Okay, Libra is an air sign, and Libra is the balance. They are the scales, they are the justice in life, and the ability to see all sides, and the fairness, and the, straightforward kind of truth, a real truth. And by the way, that's another huge aspect of both Taurus and Scorpio energies from the eclipses that are going to continue through next year, by the way, these same coupling and series. And it's about truth being revealed. And some of it is going to be it'll be shocking, but a lot of it is just necessary and important that we know, because I personally love to be truthful to everybody. And I also love to know the truth, regardless of how I may feel at that moment when I receive the information. I'd much rather have the truth. So that's what you came into May with. And it could absolutely have to do with court. If you had a court case that was pending or something, it may have been delayed, I would say. I wouldn't necessarily say it's been finished, but I can tell you that I think by certainly next month, after Mercury goes direct, and the new moon in Gemini happening on May 30th, there is going to be some very, very important revealed information for you. And it's going to be positive. It's going to be in your favor. So remember, I said that. You may already know, because we're already towards the latter part of May. It could also happen down the line with this influence of the eclipses, bringing this out for months to come in small little increments, okay? But I love that. It could be justice in your relationship. It could be justice in your workplace. It could be justice within yourself and what you need to be true and correct. And it's a beautiful feeling, because it feels balanced and it feels harmonious. And what I wanted to mention is that because of having Jupiter in the sign of Aries, from which started on May 10th through October 28th, when it then dips back into Pisces through the end of December 20th, I believe, and then goes back into Aries through May 16th of next year. A very long stay. This is the polar opposite. Libra is the polar opposite of Aries in the 7th house, which is relationships. So I can promise you there will be new developments for every person in this planet in some regard having to do with relationships. And I want to say that you may have to go through some uncomfortable things, perhaps, with this powerful energy of just being truthful, and maybe not something you're used to doing. I know Capricorns can be a little bit more behind the scenes energy, like I said, a little more subdued. And there's also fire, aspects in people's Capricorn charts that make them stand up and be heard, as well as any fire sign. So that's something to just really consider, this equality message throughout, certainly 2023, with it being directly across from Libra, being directly across from Aries, is very beautiful. And I think it's going to bring a lot of decisions that were, thought about for a long time into a place that's comfortable for everybody involved. Now, the second week coming into this beautiful month of May. Oh boy, was is letting you know about the Ace of Pentacles. Wow. So automatically, because I feel like all of the, tarot readings are all like a storyline that kind of follow each other, as well as the eclipses and the information. But well, this is you. You're the earth element, the coin. You're the practical, the more, tangible parts of life, the earth, the ground, the seeds we plant, the food we eat, the sensual aspect, like I said again, the turning of the soil so that you can, plant the seed and then watch and patiently wait for the outcome, knowing full well that's been seeded. The plant has been seeded. The seed has been planted. Try to do that when you try. It's really not an easy task. The plant has been seed. The seed has been planted. It's amazing. And I'd love to be able to edit, but I'm not an expert at that. So the seed has been planted, and you can't wait, because there's something extremely important coming through. And with that Aries and 1, the ace, the beginnings, the changes, the transformations, everything we're talking about, it's the beginning of something that could be long-term, for the rest of your life. There's a change, and it has to do with the practical side of your life. It's absolutely about what you're creating, and it could certainly have to do with your work environment, which doesn't surprise me, because like I said from the get-go, earth signs are hardworking, and you are no exception, and you usually are the last to leave the office and the first to get there, and a lot of times it's your own business anyway, so you figure, what the heck, I'm here anyway, just pull out the cot, all because you definitely want to reap the rewards, and who wouldn't? And they're always deserved, because you work so incredibly hard. I love seeing that. So there's something important, and maybe this law case, and I could just go on forever as to how many different possibilities what that entails, but you're going to be given some very important new beginning, new perhaps financial reward, and certainly something that's going to grow in time. So I love that, because it's so perfect for the 2 eclipses, both this Taurus, your fellow earth sign, and with Venus being the ruling planet there. And then I didn't mention, but Uranus has been in the sign of Taurus since 2018 and will remain, I think, till 2025. So it's unexpected. It's just like it could just come from nowhere. And I always think of surprises as happy, and yes, sometimes they're not, and you don't want them, but I feel in this case there's some beautiful, beautiful surprises coming your way that are going to knock your socks off and really add to your life in abundance. So I love that from this, clear indication and symbolism of these messages thus far. So the 3rd week, we're basically approaching the 3rd week, and pretty much through it, and you have the 6 of Pentacles. This is so beautiful. The 6 of Pentacles, once again, to me, it's not, but it's certainly you, because of the energy of the earth. And so you have the ace and the 6. 6 is about justice again. It's about the equilibrium. It's about give and take, reciprocity, Libra aspects, the fairness that's involved, the justice. You're making sure that what you get, you give, and not being silly about overexpending, and I don't think that you do anyway. I think you're very, very capable of money management and being firm and true to your cause. And I can see you as being extremely generous, but at the same time knowing that you only have so much, and knowing exactly what to put out and what to keep, and just being aware of that. But that the balance is there, and you will be receiving as well as giving. So I love that. And it seems so appropriate with the scales and the justice, and money having to do. So it does have to do with money. You may have somebody wanting to borrow money, or you may just feel like you want to be very charitable at this time, because I think that's been happening for a lot of people with everything going on in the world right now. There's there's so many people to give to, and that would be exactly your kind of motive, and your understanding of what's necessary in life, the real important things in life. You're a deep, caring person when it comes to that. Whoops, so that just popped right out. That's the 4th week. That's coming up. That's involving this new moon on the 30th, which will be what, next, I want to say, I do believe it's the Tuesday, right? No, it's Monday because the 31st is Tuesday. Okay. The Chariot. Wow. So this is about mastery. I don't know, people use all different expressions and understanding about the symbolism of this, but this is the sign that represents Cancer. So there's the water. And we're in Gemini season at this moment, and it'll last through June 20th, 21st. And then we go into Cancer season. Now, Cancer, and being a water sign, which is, been very prevalent with the scorpionic energy, is extremely sensitive, very, very emotional, very nurturing, and a very harmonious element to an earth sign. And I see the combination, the compatibilities, and the people that tend to hang together, whether it be friendship or romance or on a regular basis. This is about that. This is about movement. This is about you mastering your mind, body, and soul. This is about success, going through the hardships of life, the white and black. Not everything is white and black, even though we had a lot of fixed sign energy in this month as well, with the Scorpio and Taurus, which was basically from the 30th of April, but also lasting and influencing us for months. And the purples are, to me, in the beautiful hues of the oranges, the burnt oranges. That's our root chakra. That's the fundamental, the foundation, the earth, the stability, the security we all seek. And then it goes into the beautiful purples and stuff, which is our third eye and our mastery of self. When we master ourselves, everything else seems to just flow and just feel so incredibly whole and harmonious, once again with the balance, keeping that balance. It's fantastic. So that's something to really, really recognize in yourself, of course, but just to feel so incredibly good about. This is an incredible reading, actually, and it's showing me a great deal of, yes, balance, but also justice, and great financial rewards, and just definitely moving forward. You could be moving. I mean, it's possible. You could be going on a trip or taking a trip, because this Mercury retrograde, for a lot of people, it's like, okay, you know what? I'm not able to get forward as much as I'd like. Let's just take a little staycay or at least plan a trip, okay? And yeah, they say during a retrograde, be extra careful and double check your itinerary and your suitcases, make sure you have everything, and that's fine. It's worth it. And if something were to be delayed on a trip, it doesn't always feel as severe as when you're needing to be at work at a certain time, and that's, when it's more business-like, especially with you. Absolutely love it. Incredible energies. I hope you've already felt this and you're resonating. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, but don't say, or watch your moon and your ascendant reading, because they too can have way more influence on you, depending on many variables. So now we're going to go on to this beautiful oracle message, and this is just for you for the month of May and onward, because it's the wisdom of the hidden realms, and much of our life is the mystical and the things we can't see that are absolutely happening nonetheless. And so it's exciting, and I love how it's kind of always been a little bit in tune, I would say, or a lot in parallel to the readings. So for you, beautiful Capricorn, you have the Hawk Prince. And what it says, as I put on my spectacles, is that the words indicated are spirit, communication, and paying attention. Well, you have that beautiful Saturn, very structured, just understandable, innate nature to yourself, because that's your ruling planet. So spirit connection is just taking time to be still, go in your garden, go into nature. So many earth signs that I know love nature, and they revel in gardens and the fresh vegetables and the fruits and the things that they can create and acquire. And the gardens are usually phenomenal, as well as just cooking and that sort of thing. Whatever calms your spirit is going to be very important, because the messages coming through for all of us are vital. They all are, but sometimes more than others. And this is one of the times it's about recognizing our truths. So it's number 11, and 11 is a master number, and it actually becomes 2. And that's about partnership once again. That's this Libra aspect, the relationship thing. Partnership for Libra is everything, and it's very, very prominent in this month. So if you haven't met somebody, you may very well meet somebody. And do me a favor, because it's a retrograde, don't go fast forward into it. I don't know that you would, but if you have the fire indications in your chart, you may feel a little bit more with this Mars energy, like, oh my God, it's the real deal. It's happening. I've waited too long. I'm done. It's happening right now. Ease up a bit, okay, if you can, and let it organically kind of fall into place, because meeting somebody in a retrograde doesn't mean it's not going to work, but it'll have its twists and turns, for sure. And to make sure that our eyes are wide open is, of course, very important at all times. But I'm going to read to you what it says specifically too in the book for a little more information. And it says, number 11, oops, we'll pass right by it. It says, the Hawk Prince appears with good news. He flies into your life to alert you that a message is coming to help you manifest your destiny. Woo! And the justice and the aspect of it being Libra, it's a mind sign, it's an air sign. It's about verbalizing, communication, connection, absolutely. Information, and certainly, like I said, that will reveal the importance of something that's going to be justice for you, specifically. So this is fantastic. Expect a phone call, letter, email, or conversation that lets you know the next step to take towards your greatest good, or to tell you that you've arrived at an important stage along your path. Well, that tells me this as well, because this is all about your path and movement and moving forward. And also, it could very well cater to, your home, which is all part of the practical aspect of you anyway. And maybe wanting to redo your home, or, renovate, or buy a new one, or something of that nature, or add somebody like family into it. You see what I'm saying? So the list goes on, but it's very pertinent to this, and it's very synchronistic, I would say. The Hawk Prince is also the ally for spirit communication. So pay attention when you think you hear something important pop out on you or pop out at you from the radio, on TV, or overhearing a conversation of strangers. Spirit is constantly in dialogue with you. Are you listening? Stay open, expect Spirit to speak to you and show you the way to your prosperity in all aspects of your life. Well, that's pretty evident with the Ace and the 6, okay? So I love this. This is definitely congruent to what we're hearing and what we've gotten the messages from the reading. So now I'm going to pick your rune. We're going to pick the rune because I love this as, like I said, the cherry on the sundae. And I've run a little bit longer, and I feel like sometimes the longer ones, recordings do take a little longer to upload. Who knows? I don't know. It's all been long, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to pick your specific rune. And this is just that last message that's super important, moving on into the remainder of May and up and through. I'll be darned. I love this so much. This is so perfect. So there is no letter on this particular one, but yes, that in itself. Bear with me 1 second. That is hilarious. The fact that it has no letter is also a message. So, and we happen to have that right here for you. I have my beautiful flashcards. And it's perfect. I actually have not gotten this since I've done the May readings. So this automatically makes me feel like what the message was about Spirit, because Spirit is not always seen, as we spoke of, and it is definitely always there and definitely wanting to portray and to communicate with you at this time. So forgive me, I know it's in here. Here it is. So we read the blank one, and there are messages. Oh yes, there are messages. I'm excited, actually. I love this. So for you, beautiful Capricorns, in the remainder of the month, in the whole month of May, the rune is weird, is how it's pronounced on this card. And it is number 25, so that equals 7. So that's a spiritual number, absolutely. It's an angelic number, and it's definitely always been known for working through issues and, you know, resolving them. The theme is fate, and that is absolutely spiritual, isn't it? Keywords: wild card, possibility, karma, conceal, unclear, secrecy, and inspiration. Well, that Scorpionic moon, I told you, they're deep. They're very deep. Their rivers run deep. The reservoirs run deep. And you're feeling and you're picking up on that. And you will for some time, as I said, these influences of both Taurus and Scorpio eclipses, which are like moons on steroids, will be through next year. The magical working, seeking deeper insight, concealment, seeking inspiration, inviting possibilities. And I know that's a key thing for your personality anyway. You're more than welcome to bring in anything that will add to success or to, you know, that's that cardinal thing, wanting to keep going and try and believe and instigate. Key phrases: be prepared for the unexpected, of course. A blank canvas. Anything is possible. Patience. Nothing is available right now. Cloak your thoughts, feelings, and intentions. So until this Mercury retrograde, you're going to feel a whole lot better about a lot of things, I think, and it's just all going to make perfect sense. Blank expression, reveal nothing, look deeper here. What else is there? The hand of fate. Well, that's a lot, and I've spoken a lot, and I honestly hope that you have gotten something out of this. This is why I do the readings, and I just would love to see you again in June, because June is going to be pretty amazing and beautiful, and the energies will be a lot more straightforward. You know, there's not going to be a lot of this mercurial, you know, mix up kind of delay energy. So yes, enjoy the remainder of May. I wish you the best weekend. If you celebrate Memorial Day weekend, perfect to get away, yes. And just a heartfelt thank you for stopping by to begin with. Until next time, take care and bye for now.